Okay, we would prefer if they are to say there is no that contractual obligation does not exist. Also, just they should also set us free from the obligations, because now what was signed or what was agreed upon was that we will complete our studies, we will come back, do our internship, do everything, get into and then they place us, or rather give us jobs, and then which was for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
So in the engagements that we have done with the ministry so far was that we should just wait, meaning they are gonna take maybe their time until they call us, but we should know that we're still obligated. We still have that obligation, which from my point of view doesn't really make sense if to say they are taking their time with the contract to call us when they are ready for us. We might as well just they might as well just set us free, if that's the case.
By setting you free, it means what? What would that entail?
Setting us free just means if it comes to a point where, because the contract was to say our obligation was to come back and serve our community. So if the time comes where they need us to serve the community, if they have set us free, then I won't have that obligation. If, let's say, time comes, at that time when it comes, maybe let's say I own my own practice in private.
Yeah.
Then there shouldn't be an obligation that says I should leave my place, my practice, to come back to government.
Yeah. If so, you were funded by the state to go and study in Cuba or wherever. Government scholarship. Hypothetically, if you had, upon your return, landed back in Windhoek, and then you were snapped up by Lady Pohamba, what would have been, would you have been in violation of any terms of your scholarship?
The contract, yes. I would have been in violation of the contract. But at this point, it doesn't seem like the contract really weighs any weight.
Yeah.
Because also the government, our obligation was the studies, right? As we have done our part.
Yeah.
And now it's basically the government's part, time to do their part, but they are not doing anything. So per se, if that had happened, I don't think they would even notice at this point.
Yeah. Are you passionate about dentistry?
Yes, definitely. Yes, I'm very, very passionate about this.
Did you enjoy your internship? How was it?
Internship was amazing.
Okay.
It was, coming from a foreign country, it was quite a lot. That given that, as I said, especially we as a nation, we lack hospitals.
Yeah.
And I had the privilege of doing my internship at, let's say, in Ohangwena region first. The first 6 months I was in Ohangwena region.
Are you from Ohangwena?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm from, yeah. So basically, I had the privilege of doing my internship back at home.
Yeah.
And as we all know, Ohangwena has the largest population, if not the second. Yeah. So we were seeing a lot of patients. And with that, when you see a lot of patients, when you're seeing a lot of patients, you also become passionate about what you do. And especially when you have the privilege to even do it in your own mother tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I fell in love with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I can imagine, of course, the joy. I don't know now the terms there. Mekulujanga,
Yeah.
So okay. But now what do you hope to see in the next coming weeks? Because applications are in, government seems to have, because honestly, 2,000 people, that's a lot of people. And if they cannot accommodate, if they cannot just be flexible a little bit and say, okay, you can maintain the same number. You don't have to increase to 2,080 positions. Still maintain, maybe there are budget issues, but if you say, look, out of those 80, just include, out of those 2,000, just include 80.
Yeah.
Or 50 or whatever the number, but definitely not 8. Is that sort of your prayer right now as a group to government?
as a group now, we're just hoping that they include a lot, as many as they can.
Yeah.
Even 30 at this point
Yeah.
could do us justice. Because what will happen is, if they, let's say, if we have to get 30 more posts,
Yeah.
and then it takes up 30 of the 80 people that are waiting. These 30 could be that they are busy in private right now, taking
Yeah.
up space in private. So the people that are yet to finish, or the people that are currently seated at home doing nothing,
Yeah.
could take up this space.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
in private. So we just want, I mean, the cake is big for everybody.
Yeah.
We all just want a piece of the cake
Yeah,
at the end
absolutely.
of the day.
Tell me something, Doctor. I seem to understand now that, contrary to popular belief, people believe that a dentist, in fact, when I was just typing your name on this device to give it to my production team there, when I said dentist, what popped up, the emoji was of a tooth.
Yeah.
But your role has actually evolved. It's no longer just about, it's like you deal with all the injuries from here onwards. If you can delve into that a little bit.
So dentistry is broad. It's
Yeah.
not just teeth. I know when people think of us, they're like the teeth doctors.
Yeah.
It's not just about teeth.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when you come to the hospital, mostly all the injuries are from the neck up, especially when in case of emergencies. Those are all just referred to the dentistry department.
Yeah.
Because now, us being dentists, we are the general now. We do the general part. We are the general practitioner in the dental department.
Yeah.
But we have other departments. We have like the maxillofacial surgeons. These are now dentistry, that the surgeon dentistries.
Yeah.
So they operate all the deformities, or they fix all the deformities from the neck up mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have to go to a hospital, let's say you're involved in a car accident, you have an open wound on your head, I mean on your cheek, and so forth. That's a job of a dentist to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. How many foreign? I mean, not how many, but we used to have a lot of foreign doctors. A lot of them from Cuba. I don't know whether they are dentists specifically, but just a lot of foreign doctors. I know there used to be a huge contingent from Kenya and Zimbabwe. People say, but it was necessary at the time because we didn't have local capacity.
Yeah.
But now we have hundreds and dozens of people sitting at home. How is the situation lately? Do you guys come across a lot of foreign doctors who might be, as part of really absorbing Namibians, must now start to make way?
Okay, no, actually, there has been a lot of improvement in regards to that. Now that Namibia is also, we have a school of medicine, right?
Yes.
So since then, I feel like we have been absorbing more of our people.
Yeah.
Especially, the only problem comes in that, we cannot deal, we cannot do without them.
Yeah.
In
what sense?
in some of the fields, especially
Specialized.
specialized. The general ones, we don't have so many of them in the system anymore. But the specialists, we still have quite a number of foreigners. So, but I have seen there are a lot of specialization programs put in place
Yeah.
now. So we are also getting a lot of our own Namibians who are to specialize.
Yeah.
So I'm sure with time they're all going to be absorbed. But we don't have a lot of foreigners anymore.
Okay, very good. In closing, Doc, I think the subject matter itself, you've dealt with it. But paint me a picture of your aspirations, your dreams. Why do you need this job? What do you want to do with all these perks that come with being a doctor?
Well, okay. The dream is to get a job, right? At the end of the day, we did study for this, and then the dream is to get a job. Especially now, we are fighting for the state, because the state comes with job security. The benefits, and at the end of the day, it also gives us the opportunity to specialize. As I said when I spoke about the programs of specialization, those are usually funded by the government itself.
Yeah.
So there is no way if you're in private, they are going to fund for you unless you fund for yourself. So that comes with the job will come with growth as well, career-wise.
Do you aspire to stand on your own feet one day with your own practice and stuff?
Definitely, with the high unemployment rates,
Yeah.
I would like to help out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dr. Kongomene, thank you for coming to the show. We wish you and your peers in that group the best of luck. We hope that by coming to our platform, someone is listening and that they will intervene very soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Missed the latest episode of Tourismus? Don't worry, Echo has you covered. Catch every travel adventure, insider industry news, and exciting destinations from Tourismus anytime, anywhere. Visit www.1up2.com and click on Echo to relive the journeys, rewind the adventures, replay the stories. Tourismus, where adventure meets prime time.
Missed the madness? Catch every sharp jab, unfiltered truth, and political punchline from Second Take, the show that says what others won't. From presidential bloopers to policy absurdities, we satirize the powerful and poke the pompous. If you didn't catch the fire live, don't sweat it. Every single story is waiting for you on Echo. Find us at 102.com and Echo, in your time, on your terms.
So from my understanding, those habits could be what I said about stopping to breastfeed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I feel overwhelmed. It's a really quite an overwhelming experience to give birth. It's a lot of demands on you.
Yes.
So that can lead mothers to just feeling exhausted, not getting the social support, not getting the breastfeeding support, or the support from the employers. But also it could lead to postnatal depression, or coping mechanisms could be to go to alcohol. So alcohol consumption or smoking during pregnancy, during breastfeeding, also really harms the baby.
Yes.
And then other coping mechanisms also could be to just rely then on breast milk substitutes, the formula milk too early, or to even use other baby products, which a recent study found out that in some of Nestle's products, Cerelac for instance, there are around 10% of sugar in that.
Yeah.
And the World Health Organization says children should not have sugar in the first 2 years. And the funny thing is, they wouldn't even miss it if you don't give it to them.
Yes.
But these are the years, as I said earlier, where we develop. So we also develop our taste buds.
Yes.
So if I give you sugar as a child, as a small infant, then you will create an addiction to sugar and you want to crave for sugar for the rest of your life. But if I give you less, your taste buds are used to less sugar and you
Yes.
will crave less sugar later on.
Okay.
So this would be also the types of sugar, alcohol, other things would be very negative coping mechanisms. While we have so many other alternatives that are just less known.
Let's talk a bit about better infant and young child feeding practices.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you give us an insight into what mothers and caregivers should be trying to do?
Yes. So I think the very basic one would be really to exclusively breastfeed for the first 6 months.
Okay.
It's also the most cheapest option for mothers. And to continue breastfeeding even after that, for if you can up to 2 years or longer, while you start giving the child the first foods or complementary feeding. And for that, ideally you give a variety of different foods, ideally different forms of vegetables. They can be smashed and so forth, so the baby can easily eat it.
Yes.
And you should try different foods like 3, 4, 5 times for the baby also, again, to develop the taste buds.
Okay.
Definitely lots of water. If you give juice, mix it 50-50.
Yeah.
I've personal experience of our own kids getting cool drink and asking us to add water because it was too sweet for them.
Yes.
And this is, I think, where we come to the challenges. So a lot of Namibians or women or their partners don't know really exactly what to give a child when and how.
Yes.
And secondly is, do we have enough means to buy vegetables to get that and so forth?
Yes,
and this is
access.
where we access,
Yeah.
exactly. So availability of food is one thing in the shop,
Yeah.
but do I personally have access?
And even to water. I mean, we've got so many settlements all over the country where there's no running water.
Exactly. I mean, yes, if I had the financial means, I can go to the supermarket, and the other opportunity would be to have my garden.
Yes.
But without water, as you said, I can't really have that garden. And there are also other issues like sanitation.
Yes.
If I do not have access to fresh water, I get food poisoning or other forms of bacteria and illnesses through the bad water, or because I can't wash my hands.
Yes.
I get infection, and that also gives me diarrhea and so forth, and my whole nutrition and the nutrition of my child is affected.
Yes.
So this is why, as an alliance, what we really try to emphasize is a multi-sectoral approach, meaning health, agriculture, education, social protection, Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Finance, need to come on board together with the different civil society actors, academia, and private sector, to really make sure that it's a well-coordinated approach, that people have what they need to become productive and smart and creative citizens.
Talk to us a little bit about sweet foods and unhealthy foods. What should we try and avoid?
Well, I think, as I said, the first years are critical.
Yes.
So avoid giving your child sweets. That can also be really a coping mechanism to stop your child from crying.
Yes.
Try to really use that as a very, very, very last end. Use water, drink water, get the child to use water, and see if you can do less on what we call ultra-processed food.
Okay.
There's processed food,
Yeah.
which even can be the meat that you cut and hang up to dry.
Yes.
That's processing.
Yeah.
That's completely fine, and there's no harm in that. That's great. We need to really process and preserve food.
Yes.
But the ultra processed food is then the deep frozen pizza, the Kentucky fried chickens,
Yes.
and so like the fast food,
Fast food.
the stuff we get in the shops or petrol stations, the overly sweet food, and even the beverages. I know colleagues of, or I know people who drink their 2 liters of Coke per day.
Yes. Yes.
And this is where it has a lot of energy, but it's empty energy. It's
Yeah.
empty kilojoules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereby a glass of milk, on the other hand, would have lots of different vitamins, minerals, and so forth. So if you also consume only food from one food group or 2 food groups, so that's the starches, the pap, the rice or stuff, and only the meat,
Yeah.
that's also just 2 food groups. So rather add vegetables, add fruits, have healthy oils.
Yeah, I want you to expand a bit about that, about fresh fruits, fresh foods, fruits and vegetables, but also about diversified diets
Yeah.
and minimum acceptable diet. That concept I'd like to understand better. Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of the diets, what we basically have 4 food groups in Namibia.
Okay.
The staples or the starches, then the proteins, which can come from animal or plant sources.
So it's meat and
That's meat, but also legumes,
Okay.
Like peas and,
Yeah.
and stuff that have a lot
Beans,
of beans.
oh,
Yes.
excellent.
A lot of protein. Then you have the fruits and vegetables. They have a
Yeah.
lot of micronutrients. And then you have the fats and oils.
Okay.
So in a way, we say the starches are your go foods.
Okay.
They give you the energies that drive you. Even sugar is a kind of a starch. The proteins are what we call the grow foods.
Okay.
So these are the ones that build your muscles and so forth, especially important for children.
Yes.
The proteins, because they are growing.
Yeah.
And the third one is the glow foods, because those vitamins, they make you glow.
Oh, I see.
They literally make your skin glow, the
Healthy,
eyes, the
yeah.
healthy. So if you don't have them, you get eye problems or other problems, or your immune system isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is kind of where we say, try to at least have all 3 plus healthy fats.
What's healthy fats?
The avocados or animal fats, would in principle be the healthy ones. The one fats that you have in those ultra processed foods are the ones that are unhealthy. The ones in your pizza or in your burgers. Too fried products are not as healthy.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about hand washing and the importance of those kinds of good habits.
Good habits,
Yeah.
yes. So that is kind of part of the area of food safety, because if the food that I'm consuming is contaminated, I also get sick, and that not only makes me sick but also inhibits my ability to process the food properly.
Yes.
So hand washing is key, because I'm touching the food, the way which I prepare it, the way I eat it, and then also the way we prepare the food. So you shouldn't mix then the meat with the vegetables when you cut it, prepare it, the way you kind of leave it outside. So there's a lot of areas where food can be contaminated, but hand washing is really the main key thing that I can take responsibility of myself. However, lots of households don't have access to water.
Yes.
And this is really where the multi-sectoral approach comes in, where we do need access to water in and at every household, and not just a kilometer away, but as close to the houses, and ideally within each and every house as possible, so people have access to fresh water to wash hands, to drink, and all of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Ben, with the insights that the study has given you, and in terms of the Alliance, what do you think are your next steps, and what do you think Namibia should prioritize as a country?
Thanks. So for us, as I said, it's a wake-up call. Increase in stunting from 24 to 30%. That should be a red flag, a warning light.
Yes.
What we have noticed is we have a brilliant food and nutrition security policy
Okay.
as a document that outlines how the different sectors can work together. But what has not been prioritized yet is coordination. So meaning you need to have people from those different sectors who sit together and who make sure that not just at national level, but in the different regions, and you highlighted those pockets of malnutrition.
Yes.
So we need to really do something about it at a regional and at local levels.
Yes.
So there we need to make sure that people from those different sectors plan together, implement together, evaluate together, and that make informed decisions. And for that you need to prioritize coordination from the highest level. In the moment the policy is under the office of the Prime Minister.
Okay.
So for them to really prioritize and put together a coordination unit that is strong enough with 4, 5, 6 different people from different sectors and different stakeholders. So we're also happy to come on board there to really make sure that we coordinate those actions and to bring those numbers down. We've recently visited Zimbabwe and Zambia, and we could see there were food nutrition councils established not to implement, but to just make sure that those responsible implement, to coordinate, and there you can see the results actually.
Awesome.
So learning from those countries, having conversations with key decision makers, that would be our next steps.
Okay. We're almost out of time. Would you like to give a last message to our viewers?
Yes, so take please from this study and what we discussed, that nutrition is really crucial, especially at the young age. If you are a parent, whether a father or a mother, pay attention to your children, that they are well fed, that they're healthy fed, that they drink a lot of water, less sweet stuff. Play with them, because it's also that, it's enjoyable for you as a parent to connect to children, but it's for them to really learn so much from you as a parent. So pay attention to those early years, and try to really stay healthy and well.
Thank you very much.